All right, it's official. It's 8:30. It's Monday. If y'all just saw my message in the team chat, I'm fired up, like fired up, and more so than just coming off of the trip and all the things. It just hits on a whole different level for a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. And I could talk about that for hours and hours. I think that we are all hardcore feeling a lot of things. And I know that I've talked to each of you, well, a lot of you individually about it and where you're at right now and what you want the next 6 months to look like. And this is why I put this quote in there first, because I know that the world feels really heavy. And again, I could get into all the things, and part of me wants to, but also I will become a squirrel and never talk about the things that I really want to get into tonight with y'all. But where our focus goes, that's where our energy flows. And I know some of y'all messaged me today and you're like, I just can't get on social media because I get into this rabbit hole of searching for things and looking at things. And then it's like 20 minutes goes by and I don't know what I'm doing. One of the biggest things that we have to do is stay focused in on this. And I know, because this is me, I can't tell you how many times today I got on to like send a link or send a video or do something. And especially when you go for some reason, from Facebook to Instagram, it takes a second for the link to load. And so like I would go into Instagram and then something else would pop up, and like 10 minutes later, drop a 1 in the comments if you know what I mean by this. Like 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I even get in here for? And then I feel like the day is just gone and I haven't actually done the things that I want to do. We have to train our brains that if this is going to be a big thing for us, and these calls were not invited, I didn't even put this in the team page today because this call tonight is for builders. If you are here watching this, if you're listening now, if you're watching the playback, it is because you want something more with this. And we have to train ourselves that wherever our focus goes, that's where our energy is going to flow. And some of y'all probably feel right now in some instances when you message me with like, oh, I had this happen and I had this happen and I had this happen and then this happened. I'm like, okay, yeah, we all do. Right. And it's not because I ever want to not be sensitive to that, because life happens. And that's why we're here, because we have a really incredible community and we get to lean on each other for so many of those things. But I think that y'all know me well enough now. I will never be the friend that just lets you sit silent, and just like, oh, it's okay. Everything's okay. We'll find time. Maybe next week, maybe tomorrow. No, if you're here, we have to be able to focus in on the here and now and know why you're doing this. And one of the things that when I looked around, and I don't mean this to sound snarky or rude, and I don't want it to come across that way, but I sat in a room with 300 Joules so many times this week. And y'all, I know you guys. I know you. I know why you're here. I know why you want this. And I also know your ability, maybe even more so than some of y'all do, because I know that some people saw my ability to do this way before I could. And if those people in that room can do it, golly, I just want to like come out and grab every single one of your faces and tell you, you can too. You literally have to just decide that you're going to have the belief in yourself, decide that you're going to be able to start messaging and stop waiting. Because when I listened to the people that were in that room, I had so many conversations on the boat, just talking to different people and like really getting into our businesses. That is the thing that's setting us apart right now. We are not retaining as a team. We're not actually recruiting as a team right now. And so then we're not duplicating. And so I know that if that starts for y'all, because you're messaging with boldness and you're messaging knowing that people are joining something that's so much bigger, that you will be unstoppable in this. But you have to start training yourself on where you're going to be and where you want to go. Because if we keep getting on and keep getting distracted and keep letting all of the other things happen, you're going to be in the same space 6 months from now. And I don't know about you, but I will not be in the same space 6 months from now. And the team that got you to silver is probably not going to be the team that gets you to senior silver, and they're not going to be the team that gets you to gold. You have to be willing to go and find the people. And so that's what we're going to talk through tonight. So just a couple of things. Double BBBs and next day pay. Y'all, if you are not telling every single person on your team about this, you are totally missing the boat. I've added 7 people this month. 6 of them had 150 PV or more. And so that happened before they announced the double BBBs. I just automatically on Friday got $180 added into my account because they went and they backdated all of this stuff. I don't know about y'all, but $180, no matter who you are, is a big deal, right? Like, drop a 1 in the comments if $180 right now you would have a use for. It's for changing 6 lives because I'm messaging. My warm market, I put this in our chat today. My warm market was tapped out a long time ago, a long, long time ago. And so if I'm adding people, y'all can too. I am not any different than you guys, except for the fact that I believe fully in this, and this is my only option. Like, I have no back door open. This fully supports my family. And I will go in, especially after the things that have happened in the world in the last week, with a full tenacity and full belief in the fact that we have something that absolutely makes a difference for anybody that comes in contact with it and gets consistent with it. And so anybody, like, this chart right here, y'all, will change lives, but people are not going to message you about it. That's just the reality of it. And so if you're not private messaging people and saying, like, hey, let's get one person, who's your accountability partner? Ken's and Ash and I were walking through this today in one of the chats. She had somebody that said, I've already lost 5 pounds. And I was like, perfect. Go message her back with confidence and with boldness that now your next step, because so many people want what you just experienced, is to go message a couple of people and put up a post. Who are 3 people that you know? I'm not asking questions. I'm demanding, because I know that if people think that that's the next step, they will do it too. Now, will everybody? No. But I'm believing that they will, because if I'm already going into this like, no, not going to do it, they're not going to do it. I messaged all of my level 1s today. I had 17 people that messaged back like almost immediately that they wanted in our customer care chat. If you have not invited people into that, some of y'all have your own, and that's completely fine. Karen is adding like into that like a boss. Like, I know she's doing the work, because every time I got a notification, it was, I did a little happy dance. It was like, Karen has added, Karen has added. Like, if you're not adding your people into there and having them see the community, we're missing out. We love this piece of it. And that's why we're adding it in, because I really think that that's part of the piece that we're missing. This is something I'm not going to talk a ton about, because you can be on and doing like map this with your upline, how you're going to earn this. But the double enrollment credits this month, you 1000% need to take advantage of, y'all. So what my focus has been, and I know I've put this in the chats, Triplex 120, meaning the Triplex and the BioCleanse 120 is, and 1 bottle, not of the lower BioCleanse, but like X Factor, MetaBurn, Ease, an extra bottle of ProBio. That adds up to 150 PV. You get 100 enrollment credits because they're doubled right now, and you get 60 credits or $60 the next day. That's huge. Like, that's going to the grocery store and dinner. That's a big, big deal for so many people. And I really want y'all to look at this and ask yourself, when I look at those enrollment credits and what's needed, am I going for it, or have I already written myself off? And be honest with yourself, y'all, because if you've already written yourself off for it, where your energy goes, that's where your focus goes. And now, trips don't have to be for you, right? I get it. Not everybody loves to travel. But I'm going to show you at the end of this what happens when you invite people into this, because maybe somebody else wants to travel. And when you can get somebody on your team to get involved in this, it will absolutely skyrocket your business. Okay. I want you guys right now, ask yourself this. You can tell that I've been with cows or thinking about cows, or my last slideshows and pictures about my kids were cows, because they were the last images that I uploaded into Canva. But I want you to ask yourself, and I want you to start dropping this into the chat, or if you want to unmute yourself, I would love to hear from y'all. What has Plexus given me that I could never put a price tag on? Like, what is something in your life that Plexus has given you that no amount of money ever would be able to put a price on that for you. I put my kids with the cows up there because one of the first pictures that popped up was of Rye, and y'all know her story with the allergies and all the things. Like, if I talk too much about that, I get so emotional because my kids would not have a mom had we not had Plexus. I don't know if I would still be married without Plexus. Like, there is no price tag on that, none whatsoever in my world. And so I want you guys to really think about that. I don't know why I can't see the chat there. Your health, the friendships, I love that. The confidence, absolutely. Like, really dig into that, y'all. What is something that Plexus has given you back that you would never be able to get in another space and place? And I know without a doubt that those things happen here every single day. And I always think, when I go to message somebody, what if they don't message back? That's always the first thing that pops into my mind. Or what if they think something different of me, or they think something negatively of me? Or if I put up a post and I'm too bold about the business, what if somebody thinks that I'm bragging? But what if it goes and it changes a life? Because those negative thoughts have absolutely nothing on the fact that we get to go and we get to give people something that's completely different that they would never have if they didn't have this opportunity. You get to pass that on to other people. Next thing I want you to really reflect on, I'm so sorry, I have to keep moving us all over the screen because 10 years in, I've never figured out how to master having all of these things up at one time. What is something, and I'm going to give you guys a second because I want you to put this in the chat. What's a repeating thought that you have right now about your Plexus business that's holding you back? What is a repeating thought that you have that's holding you back? So I'm not messaging people, or I'm not adding people because, or I'm not putting up a post because. Oh, guys, these are so good. Confidence, I'm not good enough. I can't get people to check out. I'm going to fail people. I'll never move from this rank. I'll never get to the top. Now I want you to think about your kids, because I think I'm scrolling through here and I know that every single one of you, except for Ken's, I want you to think about somebody that you love, Ken's. I want you to think about your boyfriend going for a huge promotion. The rest of you, I want you to think about somebody that you love, your kids coming to you and saying, I can't do this because I'm not confident enough. I can't go in and get good grades because it's never going to be me. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I can't even say that stuff without wanting to cry. And the thing that you would tell the person that you love the most that comes in and says that to you, when you have that repeating thought to yourself, are you stopping yourself, or are you letting it take over? Because if you're letting it take over, you're stopping yourself before you even start. And so many of us do this. If you're already thinking, I'm never going to make it to the top, but then the next second you're saying, oh, but I really want to be on that cruise, and I really want the diamond income, and I really want to be able to make $6,000 a month, or I really want to be able to help somebody get to the next rank, but I can't because I'm going to fail them. You're not going to fully dive in because your brain knows that you don't fully believe it, right? If you're already worried, and Wendy and I talk about this because it's one of the things that I have a fear of too, that I'm going to fail people, that I can't create jewels, that I can't create leaders. And so guess what? When somebody comes in and they're like, hey, I want to run with the business, but I already have this fear in my head that I'm going to fail you. Am I ever really going to fully dive into the process? No. Because what is your body and your brain designed to do? To keep you safe. And in this business, you have to be a little bit delusional, y'all. Like, you have to believe that you can do things that you haven't yet done because other people are doing it. And so what we really have to do is really start to get into the mindset of how does that make me feel? And am I going to stay here and be fixed, or am I going to grow? Y'all, sometimes you come into the chats, and I love this because I love bouncing ideas. I love when I see other people's ideas. I will never tell y'all that we're not going to share chats and we're not going to send what's working, because we will. But I want to like hardcore hone in and drill in the fact that it is not putting up a perfect post. It is not sending the perfect message. It is not knowing every single thing about every single combo and knowing every single thing that is going on behind the scenes in Plexus. It has nothing to do with that. And y'all that have been here a long time, you know this, because when we started, we had nothing, right? We didn't have videos. We didn't have graphics. We didn't have sales. We didn't have any of that stuff. What we had was the belief. And now some of us have been here so long, and myself included, that we've started doubting that we can ever get to the next level or back to where we were. And our mindset has started to get really fixed on those things that we just put in there, right? I'm going to fail people. I can't get to the next rank. I can't do this. And instead, we need to have a growth mindset. I can do this because other people are. The only time that I'm failing people is if I'm not sharing this with them and that they don't get to experience what we're experiencing. The only reason that I'm not at the next rank yet is because I haven't gotten disciplined enough and I'm not reaching out to X amount of people every single day. There is always something at the flip side of this. The reason that I put this picture up from the beach, if y'all don't remember this from when I went to the beach this summer, I sent you guys a picture of this. But this was the perfect example of fixed mindset versus growth mindset. The first 100 yards on the beach was like literally thousands of people. Nobody was walking down to the end of the beach where there was nobody at, and you could have the entire beach to yourself because people couldn't see outside of that 100 yards. They had such a fixed mindset on what the beach was going to look like, what was going to happen that day, that they never got outside to experience anything else that was there. 1000% Baker, they settled. And gosh darn it, y'all, you're settling. And I want to talk to every single one of you. Like, I want to call out every single one of your names right now. And it makes me so emotional because I hear your goals. I see you write them in the team chat every freaking month. And I do the same thing. And guess what? We're not growing because we're not doing the things that we know to do. Like, we get in and we're like, oh, I'm going to put in my points every single day. And I'm going to message this many people every single day. Drop a 1 in the chat if you have stayed consistent to your goals since the first day of the month with the goal that you set on how many people you are going to message every single day. I haven't. Baker, I love you, a -1. Right? Like, we cannot keep doing this to ourselves, y'all. Because you're going to be in the same place a year from now, and we don't want that. And this is where it has to change. That story that you're telling yourself has to become something that's different. And this is where the pain point comes in. How could your life be more painful right now if Plexus wouldn't have entered? And what won't change if you don't grow? And here's what I mean by this. To do anything in life, the pain point has to be more uncomfortable than what you're going to grow through. Because you will always stay stuck. If you're just scraping by with your bills and you're just scraping by, the truth is you can always just scrape by. If you're just scraping by with your health, the truth is you can always just scrape by. Because our society has allowed that for so long. We have made it normal. Are you willing to get uncomfortable? And that's what it really comes down to. It was so uncomfortable at the end of every single month when we couldn't pay our bills. But I got into such a fixed mindset that nothing else was ever going to change unless I went back to work. And I was at a job that I didn't want to be at, and I was miserable every single day until I found Plexus. When we sold the cows and I thought that Derek was going to have to go back to work, you better bet, y'all, that I'm willing to get uncomfortable every single day and to hop into 3,000 messenger chats if I have to every single day. and put myself out there every single day because I don't want to work. I mean, I work. Y'all see me. I work a lot, but I don't want to leave my house. Your goal is completely different. I don't want to work away from my kids when they're teenagers. I don't know. I mean, I do for a lot of you. I know what that means. But you have to be willing to get uncomfortable to get there. And is that pain point worth it? So you don't have to put this in the chat because this can be something that's just for you. But are you willing? And y'all hear me loud and clear with this. I didn't not love my life before. Like I love where we're at. We travel a ton. I don't want to live anywhere else other than Wellsboro. I don't want to be married to anyone else. I don't want a different house. I adore my kids' schedules. Like that was not it. I loved my life before. But gosh darn it, be willing to give yourself the ability to dream even more. Because when you make more, y'all, when you do more in this opportunity, it means that you've made a bigger impact and you've changed something for somebody else. And if last week has taught me anything, it's that I don't ever want to settle for where I'm at right now. Because if I settle for where I'm at right now, it means that y'all aren't going to be where you want to be. And it means that other people that are coming in are not going to be where they want to be too. And that's not why we went through this. That's not why I went through those struggles and found myself with Plexus. There are so many things that could stay the same and it would be amazing. I love my life. But I don't want to be in the same space even tomorrow because I want to know that I've made a bigger impact and we've done more. And so really sit with that for a second. If nothing changes, how does that make you feel? If you're in the same space, again, not because you don't love your life, but you're not listening to me 20 minutes later because you don't want something out of this. And so are you willing? Are you willing to really do the things, to send the messages, to put up the posts, to deep dive into the pillar that you need the most help with? If you're not recruiting every single day, you should be watching recruiting videos and screenshotting messages and asking for help. If you're not duplicating every single day, watching duplication videos, screenshotting messages, asking for help, what's the next step? If you're not retaining, how is your customer service? Watching videos, right? What we do, y'all, is not hard. It really is not hard. It's all laid out for us. The hard part is actually getting uncomfortable and doing the stuff or choosing to stay stuck. So here's what ends up happening. I want y'all to imagine that every single one of you gets one person. You go out in the next week, it's only Monday, and you start messaging 5 people a day about the business. And this does not look, y'all, like, hey, do you want to go diamond with me? Hey, do you want to go silver? Nobody wants to do that, right? Nobody wants to do the things that they see us doing on Facebook. That's the reality of it. And people think about when they run in a network marketing company that it's automatically messages, selfies, and putting up their pink drink. And most people don't want to do that. And so it literally looks the exact same way. We have those inbox inspo chats. We've got chats or chat messages that you can go through in that community that I set up for y'all. But you go to 5 people today, every day this week, and you're like, hey, I'm really serious about where I'm going with Plexus. And I think that you would be somebody that could absolutely make an impact. You have an incredible presence in social media. And I'm not saying this stuff to blow smoke up somebody's butt. Like if somebody never posts on social media, you're not going to go to them and be like, you have an amazing social media presence, right? You're telling people the things that you see in them and calling them out. Hey, I know that you have posted before that you want to be a stay-at-home mom or you want to be able to homeschool. I think that this would be the perfect thing for you. And tell them why. And then can I share more information with you? And then you keep it super simple as the basics. It starts with getting one person. Right now, Plexus has something really cool with next day pay. You share your link with one person, you get $60. Is that something that you think we can do together? And you handhold with them. Imagine that you find one person that's ready to run. By December, they have 50 people on their team. That is 1000% something that can happen. This is September. That's them adding 10 people, because here's the deal, y'all. When you decide that you know how to do this, you can do this, and you can help those people do the same thing, right? When they think that it's normal to get one, they're going to go and help their new person get one too. So you get them senior, so senior gold. Y'all, do you know that if somebody goes senior gold with the double BBBs that started this month, with all of the building bonuses, with all of the double rank credits that they get, they're going to earn about $6,000 before December. I don't know about you guys, but $6,000 before December is ridiculous. Like, that's people not having to charge. Chris, I could go on and on about that. They sweep their leaders retreat credit contest. Because they're with you, you also sweep it. This is what I want you guys to screenshot. This is the system. We get so caught up in having the perfect message that we need to find 30 people to run with. You don't. It starts with one person, and mastering that, and then doing it with one more person and helping them do the same. Now, to find your one person, do you have to message multiple people? Absolutely. But when you have that person that's ready to go, they get your attention and you get to help them with it. And this is the part that some of us don't love, but it's literally hand holding, because nobody knows what the heck they're doing when they come into this. We didn't, right? We didn't know what messages to send. Some of us still struggle with that because it's not our strength, and that's okay. But you have to be willing to handhold the person. Sending them scripts to get the messages. Hey, this is what you're gonna, I'll get to that. This is what you're gonna be able to do. This is the message that you're gonna send. And when they send the message back, I've screenshot this over to you with a couple of new girls that I'm helping right now. When they screenshot that message over, this is how you're gonna respond, because not everybody's willing to get in three-way messages yet. So you find the person, you absolutely handhold. And then identifying opportunities to taproot. So that's when my new person brings them in and they end up getting their first level one. I'm going to go in and I'm going to help them with the same system. That's what taprooting is. Okay. Help them launch an event. So whether that's a messenger event that you're going to host for them, or whatever that is, if you want to go do an in-person event with them, and then you're just going to keep duplicating steps 1 through 4 while you're modeling it for them. Don't get so caught up in the fact that you have to have all these people all the time. It literally takes one person to change the entire trajectory of your business. This is what we'll end on. I know it's 8:58. Being ready, y'all, is not a feeling. I think that most of us, when we are in this opportunity, we get so caught up in our feels because it's so easy to do. And for the majority of us, right, as women, we definitely are feeler people. And so when somebody doesn't message us back or somebody doesn't comment on a post, it's like, oh, but I just don't feel quite ready yet. Like, I don't know if this is something that I can do. I don't know if XYZ. Being ready is a constant decision that you have to make when you wake up in the morning, because you're not always going to feel ready. And that's when you have to constantly be thinking back, if I don't do X, Y, and Z in my business, if I don't master this next concept of recruiting or duplicating or retaining, where am I going to be in the next 6 months? And is that okay with me? If it's okay with you, then okay. But if you want something different and you want different results, you've got to do a different behavior, right? And know that when you wake up tomorrow morning, hopefully this has inspired you a little bit. And when you wake up tomorrow morning and you're like, okay, I'm super excited to do this, But then something happens and your kids need something, or you've got to go to work, or something happens at work. It's going to be a next constant decision to keep going, because that is the only way that you're going to get where you want to be, y'all. So it's the 15th of the month. It's halfway through. Some of y'all had really big goals for this month. How are they going? And why aren't you, or are you where you wanted to be? Because I don't want to get to October 1st and set the same exact goals over and over and over again. That's why some of us have that repeating loop and fixed mindset, because we wake up on the first of every single month and we make the same goal, but then we don't do anything different to change our behavior. And now we get to the 15th of the month and we're like, well, now the first 2 weeks have gone by and this hasn't changed. And so maybe I'll just wait until next month. Stop waiting and start doing. I want you to hop in whichever chat you are in, or if you're not in a chat, in with your upline, in your three-way chat. And I want you to just drop what is one thing that you're doing tomorrow and that you're focusing in on, so that you can stop that loop that you've got going on in your head with the reason why your business is not where you want to be. So one thing that you're focusing in on tomorrow so that you can change that. All right. I love y'all. Good night, everybody.